Don't miss our discounted one-way fares. Fly with Eswatini Air this back-to-school season. Fly from Skopje to Johannesburg for only 1,170. Skopje to Cape Town, 1,985. Skopje to Harare from only 2,196 and Skopje to Durban, 1,200. Terms and conditions apply. Call us today or visit our website to book your back-to-school flight. Eswatini Air. Everyone must fly. Fly.
This is Eswatini TV News at 8 live from Babane. I am Natili Sitole. Alongside Zamazimaze. First up, here's a look at our headlining stories.
Warriors from Gabizweni residents weeded Ngembeni field, joined by the Prime Minister Russell Dlamini. The Minister for Finance, Nuwerkenberg, says government is in a better position to pay elderly grants, overseas and urgent debt. The Ministry of Education and Training says it is working on addressing inconsistencies in school fees charged in public schools.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The weeding of royal fields continues. Warriors from Gabizweni residents weeded Ngembeni field. The warriors were joined by the Prime Minister Russell Dlamini.
It took the warriors from Gabizweni royal residents less than an hour to finish weeding Ngembeni, a royal field whose location is Mbekelweni. The warriors were joined by the Prime Minister, His Excellency Russell Dlamini. New compositions which cast a spotlight on national issues are dominating the weeding exercise. The warriors walked from Bigwake all the way to Ngabizweni royal residence. It was indeed a beautiful sight to witness as the regiment of warriors proudly showcased their love for culture. Culture is a powerful catalyst for development as it builds good character, promotes national unity, and enhances a peaceful environment that boosts investor confidence. At Ngabizweni royal residence, the warriors started with Uhlehla, followed by Umgubo song and dance. On the news, I'm Sandile Makanye, reporting from Gabizweni royal residence.
The Minister for Finance, Nuwerkenberg, has moved to allay concerns amid speculations about a potential cash flow crisis. Reassuring the nation, the minister says government is in a better position to pay elderly grants, overseas and urgent debt, such as medical supplies.
In a media briefing, the Minister for Finance, Neil Reckenberg, refutes allegations that government is facing cash flow crisis. While the minister says currently government is waiting for the Johannesburg Stock Exchange listing to come through, as well as the SACU receipts for government to be able to settle outstanding debts.
There are often cash flow constraints, which government does have, but over the years, these have been getting better and better on a continual basis. I think one will recall, I think in July 2023, we actually managed to catch up the payments to suppliers 100%. We do have a buildup of outstanding payments to suppliers, normally on the SACU cycle. So just before SACU comes in, there's maybe a buildup up to about 60 days delayed payments for suppliers. But when SACU money comes in, payments are then made and suppliers are generally settled at that point, 100%. And fortunately, we are there now. So last week, SACU money came in. This week, we are busy settling suppliers and be able to pay the outstanding debts due. And so the current cash flow situation is definitely nothing to be too alarmed about. Civil servants will continue to get paid, elderly grants. We even have budgeted quite well for free primary education, OBC grants. There's been a bit of a catch-up also this week on outstandings to capital payments that have also been a few delays on recently. And so I just want to allay fears that there's really nothing to be concerned about, even though we still are tight on the cash flow. Things continue to improve on a continual basis.
The government of Eswatini has been able to reduce the fiscal deficit from 7.5% in 2017 and currently is standing at 2.2%. While the Minister for Finance is expected to announce the SACU receipts estimate for the coming year. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni, Mbongwa Dube, Babane.
The Minister for Finance, Reckenberg, calls on Eswatini to share their contributions towards the preparation of the national budget. Reckenberg says the ministry noted with appreciation the call for participations by Sibaya. Reckenberg says next year the nation will be given an opportunity for physical engagement, although for the current budget the nation is encouraged to use government's digital platform.
The Ministry of Finance and the entire Planning and Budget Committee, which we refer to as PBC, the committee responsible for coordinating and the preparation of the national budget, has noted with appreciation the call for the participation of the public in the preparation of the national budget. In other words, taking the budget to the people at Sibaya. This is indeed a desirable call and well received by PBC. Whilst we appreciate that this is a very important exercise, and one that is close to our hearts, it's unfortunate to report that we are not able to undertake the public consultations before the conclusion of the 2024-2025 budget due to the following reasons. First of all, the fact that the year 2023 was an election year, which has shortened the budget period over which we normally prepare for the budget. The budget calendar has been affected negatively since the budget process has to be sanctioned by Cabinet and Parliament. The three PBC ministries working together with the Ministry of Tinkundla are, however, working on a program and corresponding budget to ensure that this exercise is conducted at a time to be announced later in 2024 to inform the preparation of the budget for the financial year 2025-2026. However, even as the nation awaits the physical engagements, by publication of this statement, the public is invited to take advantage of the following digital platforms to share their contributions towards the preparation of this year's 2024-2025 national budget. These are our Facebook page, which is Eswatini Government under the Ministry of Finance, Eswatini. Secondly, the government website, which is www.gov.sz. as well as a PBC email address, which is info@pbceswatini.net.
The Ministry of Education and Training says it is doing something about the inconsistency in school fees charged in public schools. This follows public outcry about this disparity as voiced out during the People's Parliament. Acting Principal Secretary in the Ministry, Nanikim Nisi, says they will soon engage relevant parties to discuss a solution.
have voiced out their concern about the disparity in school fees paid in public schools. Our reporters have established that school fees in public schools ranges from around 4,000 emalangeni to up to 20,000 emalangeni annually. Ministry of Education and Training Acting Principal Secretary Daniki Mnisi says public schools should not charge fees similar to private schools.
And the study lesikhomba ukuthi the disparities between the schools emekanjani in terms of ukuthi rural schools wona ane charges lawo badalako lamancane ukhanza ukuthi emandaba babadala banema boreholes babadala gesi kuphela laba labasedolobheni mhlambe babadala nabo city council ema rates babadale emanti babadale gesi.
Mnisi says they have conducted a study which shows that schools in urban areas have expenses which include water, electricity, rates, and internet, while those in rural areas mainly focus on electricity and support staff. She says they have to meet with school committees and head teachers and try to standardize fees in a way that will be fair to all parties involved. Dealing with financial barriers to education will ensure that Eswatini is in line with UNESCO's call for access to education for all. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosima Vimbela with Temba Shabangu, Mbabane.
The Ministry of Education and Training says the payment of contract teachers and teacher bonuses is nearing its completion. This was said by the ministry's acting principal secretary, Daniki Mnisi. The Eswatini National Association of Teachers, SNAT, has vowed to take it to the streets over these and other demands.
The Minister of Education and Training Acting Principal Secretary Daniki Mnisi says the ministry has made progress in the payment of contract teachers and in check.
The Treasury is confirmed this morning.
The Treasury and stores have confirmed that it wishes to pay 65 contract teachers by today. On the issue of bonuses, 76 are still remaining and they will also be paid by today. We appreciate the patience shown by the affected teachers as it caused them inconvenience.
Mnisi further states that the ministry will take necessary steps to assist schools that poorly performed in grade 7 and Form 3 external examinations.
The ministry will embark on a fact-finding mission to ascertain reasons that led to the schools performing badly in the external examinations. We will engage the teachers and the regional education officers. It will be after the fact-finding that we shall attend to the challenges faced by the schools.
Mnisi says some of the reasons that may lead to learners failing are COVID-19 effects, learners not attending schools daily, and government not able to pay the free primary education and orphaned and vulnerable children funds on time, among other reasons. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla with Temba Shabangu Mbabane.
Police have passed their condolences to a family from Liba where a child was shot by another while playing with a pellet gun. Chief Police and Information Communications Officer Superintendent Pindile Vlagati says all guns are dangerous and have to be kept secure at all times.
As Royal Eswatini Police Service, we are passing our condolences to the family in the Liba area for the incident that happened whereby we lost a soul due to a pellet gun. We appeal to the Almighty to comfort their hearts and further be with them as they prepare for the funeral of the child. And secondly, would like to continue warning the nation about being cautious with our weapons. All different weapons are supposed to be kept in a safe way. For those who have licenses, they will remember that we do teach them and we do monitor that they keep their firearms in a very safe place. So the same applies with those who have pellet guns. They should make sure that the guns are kept very safe where no one will access them, because we have seen the dangers and this is a very bad result that we have experienced as a country. And lastly, to those who are holding firearms that are illegal, we still appeal for them to submit them to the police stations nearby. We are grateful to one young man who happened to come last week and brought a firearm that was unlawful, and we encourage everyone to do so. If maybe you were doing a certain project and the payment was indeed a firearm, we would encourage that they keep them safe. They bring them to the police station and start the process of applying for a license before they can acquire that firearm into their possession.
And now we'll have an ad break and we'll be seeing you in a bit.
Today, you have a choice. How will you become future ready? Are you equipped to lead? How will you transform your career? Regent Business School empowers you with the leadership and entrepreneurial skills to disrupt, rethink, innovate, and be the future. Visit regent.ac.za to register today.
Welcome back. You are still watching Eswatini TV News, and moving on. Good results in the junior certificate examinations have caught more attention than needed for some top performing schools. Parents and pupils have been queuing in top schools with the hope of being admitted for Form 1 and Form 4. These schools say parents should try other schools.
Schools which include Gabois High School and St. Francis High School achieved over 99% pass rate in the junior certificate examinations. This is nothing new, and it continues to draw more parents who want their children to be admitted in the schools and many other top schools. The schools have advised parents to try other schools.
Gabois indzawo yagcwala mhla ka-27. Sasingeke sikhona ukuhlala ekhaya sive sigcwele sinje. So sasukuma nathi sashiya konke lesikwendawo mhla ka-27 setha satosita sive la. So masifika mhla ka-27 sive bisibulala inyuka la. Sabona ukuthi ngoba nabantu sebakhona abantu benkosi. Asivele sibaside on the spot. So leyo bakhona baqualifya kwakhanzakala ukuthi bashaya ngetulu kwale nombolo lesiyibhekele njengesikole.
Siqale iprocess ethu mhla ka-27 immediately nje naphuma ama-results, and then ke bewamaningi kakhulu ama-applicants ethu, so sagcina ke sihlunga ke mhla ka-27 28 sayikhipha ilist. So nyawo lesesikwendawo is just a confirmation nje ukuthi vele besiba-admithile babuyile noma besebakhetha letinye itikolo.
We reopened for admissions on the 3rd of January. So admit on the 3rd and on the 4th. By Monday the following week, our Form 1 is full to the brim, as well as our Form 4.
The Eswatini Schools Committee and Parents Association says schools should admit pupils so everyone gets an education regardless of the financial background and results.
Four regions of the country, ukhanzakale ukuthi nakubukwa kunebantwana nje labahledi phansi ngenzaba imali, sitawuya kona siyoshetha esikolweni sicele kusinkosi yami ngoba awati phela ukuthi ungabalahla phela balabangenti kahle.
Another top school that performed well was Evelyn Bering, which also says there was no more space just after the first day of admission. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosima Vimbela with Themba Shabangu, Mbabane.
The Eswatini Copyright Society is working towards ensuring that creatives are able to commercialize and benefit from their hard work. The Society's Executive Director, Meli Hlanzi, says in their last quarter of the year, they were able to set up an office and also capacitated relevant stakeholders in the industry. Hlanzi says soon they will be engaging the business sector and also draft tariffs.
We want to make sure that the business community continues to do their business within the confines of the law and make available le misebenzi yemaswati kibo ukuthi baqhubeke bayisebenzise whilst also benefiting labo babhali baqambi nebahlabeleli balowo mculo. So
we are working towards reaching out to the business sector. So our aim is to engage business Eswatini and other key stakeholders, especially those who are users, such as malls, restaurants, and the entertainment space. The focus for now is music, so we want to ensure that artists receive their royalties. We are also looking to draft tariffs, which is more like stakeholder mapping. We know that other consumers are incidental and others use it on a daily basis, so they can't pay the same rate. So while developing the tariffs, we need to do benchmarking, and we have made partnerships with regional organizations like us. We are also looking for global guidance because we cannot reinvent the wheel, but we just have to take what will work for us.
Media Workers Union of Eswatini has described the deceased former Secretary General Sicelo Vilane as a hard-working and dedicated individual who cares about the welfare of media workers. Vilane, a journalist who once worked for the traditional print media house, died on Friday. According to the deceased father, Albert, Sicelo died while undergoing treatment at the Luke Commission on Friday.
The late former Media Workers Union of Eswatini Secretary General Sicelo Vilane served for 7 years, starting from 2016 to 2019. According to the union's father, Albert, his son died on Friday. He says Sicelo fell sick around September last year. He says he was taking treatment for an undisclosed sickness.
lapha sibuke khona zamphaza laphathekile kakhudlwana nenhlanhla lembi-ke wasala egcana le masube kude lemvumo ukuthi akasala nemuntu langamnaka kanti sophatheke nje umuntu longakhona ukudla ufuna ngasanganawo kwasekuthi ngalesihlanu basishayela-ke ukuthi hayi sowushonile.
Media Workers Union of Eswatini President Bheki Dlamini says Sicelo Vilane played a huge role in the welfare of media workers. He adds that the deceased was dedicated in improving media workers' livelihoods. He adds that Sicelo was a good negotiator when it comes to salaries, and he will never miss a meeting where media workers' welfare was to be discussed.
The office ulqinile size silikhanze thina current. If there was no Sicelo ngakude the office the Media Workers Union nesicelo kunema achievement la khona bekuma negotiations kukhona la umgodla lomncane la ubuye nawo current nje kunenzaba le ya winwa ngusicelo yaka observer ya 35%. Lokunye lengakusho ngasicelo kude la bekuba nemhlangano khona lophathelana nemedia angabe khona.
The family of Sicelo says the deceased left behind his 2 children, and he is said to be buried this Saturday at Mafucula Lomahasha. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Utemba Shabangu Manzini.
In international news, an emergency operation rescued all the 15 miners who were trapped last week Thursday after the collapse of a gold mine in Zimbabwe's Manicaland province. This has been said by the Minister of Mines on Sunday.
The miners were trapped underground on Thursday at the Red Wing mine run by the Metalon Corporation firm after the collapse of a mine shaft. The government rushed to help rescue the 15 miners, teaming up with mining experts from Metalon Corporation and the Frederica Gold Mine. According to the government spokesperson Nick Mangwana, all the 15 miners have been rescued. Last January, 26 people were reported killed in collapsed shafts at the same mine. Meanwhile, in South Africa, the African National Congress says its former president Jacob Zuma has automatically expelled himself from the party. This comes after Zuma approves the newly formed Umkhonto weSizwe political party. When addressing the ANC members in Barberton, the ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula says the party is not going to subject Zuma to a disciplinary hearing since he is no longer their member. He says if Zuma had issues with the leadership of the ANC, he could have properly addressed them through the right channels within the organization. He further highlights that the ANC will approach the courts as it attempts to reclaim the Umkhonto weSizwe name. On another note, The European Union Council President Charles Michel on Sunday announced that he will step down early from his position, setting a race against time for the European Union leaders to find a successor for the key position. The 48-year-old former Belgian Prime Minister has been organizing European Union summits and government meetings since 2019 and should leave the office in November. Charles says he will stand in the European Parliament elections to be held in June, where he will be the head of the Liberia reformist movement in the elections. If the European Union leaders cannot find a successor by then, Hungary's nationalist Prime Minister Viktor Orban could take the job temporarily in July. Reporting for Eswatini TV, I'm Bendulo Gombe, visual source from France 24, DW and VOA.
And now let's have a look at our financial indicators.
It can be.
Moving on to sports, members of the public, football supporters and fans have expressed their excitement over the return of the inaugural Ingwenyama Cup knockout tournament after a 3-year absence. They believe the tournament has a purpose of joining football with culture. They expressed this when the games were proceeding at the Somhlolo National Stadium this past weekend.
This past weekend, the Ingwenyama Cup tournament returned after 3 years of absence due to COVID-19. Members of the public, especially football fanatics, did express their excitement about the tournament's return.
Ingwenyameni kusilethela lo mdlalo lona uba mhle kakhulu ngoba siyakhona newakabuhlobo lebungani nekuliculture ukuthi because culture imcuka ihlanganisa ubuve bethu ukuthi sichamuka kuphi simaswati. At the same time iyayiphakamisa even nezinga lebhola eSwatini.
Special kakhulu ngoba angithi Ingwenyama Cup ihambisana nalaba bakana ihambisana nalaba baka culture. So kuze sitowate masiko vele kufuna sigcine ngala.
Ungijabulise kakhulu bengaba buhlungu mhlamba ayikabuyi njengoba mhlambe elathini imbangazi tawethu ngilofuna sineke into emnanzi njengelesizwe intonyamula. Ngiyajabula ngenteka nje namuntu yabo nje namuntu umnanzi bhuti wami usinikile lo ngomdzala ukuthi sidlale.
Mesidefu lebe sithanze ibhica emasiko nebhola. Bangazi bemasiko thina ibhola asikho. Ibhola imvelo ehlanganisa abantu, amasiko imvelo ehlanganisa abantu. Ngijabule kakhulu ukuthi inkomiso ibuye.
So umsebenzi omuhle kuyasijabulisa kakhulu sihlangane nalamasiko sahlangana nemidlalo konke sakulungisa wabuya live cha sitawubuya.
The supporters are also excited about the return of the Somhlolo National Stadium that is only open for Ingwenyama Cup tournament at the moment. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports, I'm Linda Dlamini for Presim Sonera. Babane.
That's all for now. Before I go, here's a reminder of our top stories.
Warriors from Gabizweni Wa residents weeded Ngembeni Wa field, joined by the Prime Minister Russell Dlamini. The Minister for Finance, Nuverkenberg, says government is in a better position to pay elderly grants overseas and urgent debt. The Ministry of Education and Training says it is working on addressing inconsistencies in school fees charged in public schools.
And with that, it's a wrap. Up next is the weather update from myself and the team. Many thanks for your company. Take care.